What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global back here with another video. And in this one, we got some really unfortunate news. Now, as we know, week 3, New York Jets, Patriots' first road game and first win of the season, unfortunately brought a few injuries. When I say a few, I mean about 4 different injuries. We had Daniel Ekuale go down. We had Devon Godchow go down. We had Hunter Henry go down, and we had another player go down too, but it's escaping my mind right now. Daniel Ekuale, we did get an update on. We have not gotten an update on Hunter Henry or Devon Godchow. I would assume that that means they are going to be okay. Obviously, a few days removed from the game now, about 2 days. If anybody else was going to be out for the season or a significant injury, it's something that we would have heard by now. So I would assume that those guys might be on the injury report, might be limited, but they should be okay. As for Patriots defensive tackle Daniel Ekuale, unfortunately, he did not get as good of luck as the other guys, as he was diagnosed with a torn bicep against the Jets on Sunday. This means he will be out for the remainder of the 2023 season. The Patriots have officially placed him on the injured reserve. So, first and foremost, get well soon, Daniel Ekuale. This is an injury that you never want to see to any player, and he's an exciting player. You know, he's not necessarily a drive-to-drive starter, but he is a contributor to this team game in and game out, and he is definitely a piece that every single week you expect to make some type of play. But it also does mean that the Patriots do free up a roster spot. Now, they have a free roster spot on their practice squad and a free spot right now on their active roster. A lot of people saying Patriots Global. Do you think this is, Tyquan Thornton coming back now? Do you think that this is Calvin Anderson maybe coming back, giving the Patriots a little bit more depth at tackle and offensive guard? Let's keep in mind, guys, anybody on the injured reserve has to be out a minimum of 4 weeks. So anybody that was placed on injured reserve before our week 1 game against Philly, they got to be out at least 4 weeks, which does mean that this would be the last week they would have to be out. So I would expect that the Patriots either put somebody from the practice squad on the active roster maybe for the game, or the Patriots honestly just leave it at 52 players. And then after this game against Dallas, that is when they will bring a guy back from IR, whether that's Tyquan Thornton or whether that is Calvin Anderson, 2 names I would expect them to potentially look at adding from the injured reserve after this week against the Cowboys. But again, it has to be a minimum of 4 weeks. We're only 3 weeks out. So it has to be after the game against the Cowboys, meaning that nobody can come back for this week against Dallas. Now, a little bit here more about Daniel Ekuale. I think we have to kind of look at kind of his snap counts and how he was contributing to this defense for the first 3 weeks to really talk about how big of a loss is this for New England. So against the Jets, let's keep in mind the snap count is a little bit different because he did get injured at about the second quarter. So before going down with the injury, though, he played 10 total snaps on defense. That ended up being 16% of the Patriots' defensive snaps. Week 2 against the Miami Dolphins at home, he played a total of 38% of the Patriots' defensive snaps with 24. And then week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles, he played a total of 29% of the Patriots' defensive snaps with a total of 19 of them. I will say that each week so far, he has ranked last amongst the Patriots' interior defensive linemen in terms of playing time, but he is a guy that is at least playing every single week and getting actual play time every single week. The thing about Daniel Ekuale is that he's going to be the type of guy that is a game plan type of player. He's going to be active every week, but it's going to be very dependent on how much they use him based off of what type of offense they're going to go against. Now, Daniel Ekuale, I think, is a little bit underrated against the run. He is a big body. He's going to help the Patriots stuff that middle of the defensive line, which has been an issue for them so far this offseason, minus the game against the Jets. But mainly he's going to come in and be a pass rush specialist to help collapse the interior of an opponent's offensive line. He's been big at doing that. That's exactly what he brings from a defensive standpoint. And really, outside of Christian Barmore, the Patriots don't really have defensive tackles that can rush the passer. Devon Godchow, not a pass rusher. He's there to stop the run. Lawrence Guy, there to stop the run. Barmore is that only guy that truly gives interior pressure other than Daniel Ekuale. So, first and foremost, I would expect that Christian Barmore does get a little bit more playing time now with Daniel Ekuale out of the mix. But I think we could also see a guy like Dietrich Wise playing a little bit more of the interior. He's a guy that plays a lot of edge, plays a lot of defensive tackle, but probably plays a little bit more defensive tackle now in certain pass rush packages if the Patriots need some help in the middle of that defensive line. And maybe, just maybe, Keion White is a type of guy who the Patriots start playing a little bit more at interior of the defensive line rather than edge, something we saw them do in the preseason. He's mainly been playing edge so far, really hasn't been on the field a whole lot. This could be the type of injury that gets Keion White a little bit more on. Now, guys, real quick, I want to go ahead. I want to talk about my buddies over at Mojo who are sponsoring this channel and sponsoring this video right now. And I'm so excited to tell you guys about Mojo. And I've been telling you about them, but if you don't know about them, you guys are going to get a little sneak peek at one of the coolest things that you are going to hear ever. But little quick update here, guys. Because of Mojo, we are able to do a couple of giveaways, one of which is coming down to the line this Sunday. We are going to be announcing the winner for the signed Christian Gonzalez helmet. Where's the signature? Oh, wrong side. The signed Christian Gonzalez helmet, authentic. You guys are going to be getting this in the mail if you do win. So if you guys want to win this, it's completely free to enter. Make sure you guys do it now because the winner is going to be announced on Sunday, and that is going to be your last chance at being able to try to get the signed Christian Gonzalez helmet. Literally, all you guys have to do is that there's going to be a link in the description below, pinned in the comment section below, and even shortly, a QR code that you can scan to take you right there. Right now, this is only for iPhone users. I'm sorry if you have an Android, you're not going to be able to do this giveaway. I'll let you guys know when Mojo does allow Android, but until then, this is only for iPhone users. All you guys have to do is use my link or scan the QR code and download the Mojo Fantasy app on the App Store. You download it, you make an account, you send me a screenshot and send it to me on DM on Instagram, tag me on Twitter, or send it to me via email. All of that in the description box below. And that's literally it. That's all you have to do to be entered for this giveaway. So speaking of that QR code, right now you guys can just take out your phones and scan that QR code right there. Hit the link or scan that QR code, but scanning that QR code with your phone will take you right there. And you guys will be entered for that Christian Gonzalez helmet giveaway. A little bit more here about Mojo. Mojo is an app that I'm absolutely in love with. It's this new app that turns sportsbooks, odds, and selections into fantasy contests. Here's how it works, right? There's thousands of NFL and even MLB props, and you guys build your own portfolio. And the better that your portfolio performs, the more cash you guys win. You guys pick as many props as you want, and you try to beat the crowd that is full of real people rather than a CPU like most sports books. The cool thing, too, is that right now, you guys can actually go to Mojo and go ahead and place some free bets. There's some contests that you can enter that are free. You guys can literally go enter free contests and win money still without actually putting any money down. Like, free money for you guys. There's nothing better than that. It's a whole new way to play fantasy, and the props act like stocks, and you guys can buy and sell those stocks live all game long. It's the only fantasy app that lets you guys make moves after the game starts, so you're not going to be stuck with a bad pick. You guys can either cash in on a hot start if your players are doing good at halftime, or you can let your picks ride to the end of the game and just let your picks ride and see what else happens. That's it. You guys make picks, make moves, and make money. If you guys download that app right now and use the promo code GLOBAL, as you guys see right there, you guys will also get a 100% deposit match up to $100 for your first deposit. So if you guys put down $10, that's $20, $50, $100, $100, $200, and so on and so forth. So guys, go ahead and check out Mojo Fantasy and enter that giveaway before it's too late. So guys, one more thing that I want to do before we end the video off is kind of talk about what Daniel Ekuale was able to do for the Patriots as of late. Kind of talk about some of the statistics, talk about kind of how he was against the run, and then talk about what I think they could do now that he's out for the season. You know, we talked about some guys on the roster that could kind of be subbed in, but what if they decide to go somebody that's off the roster or maybe the practice squad? So this past game was the best game so far that we have seen from Daniel Ekuale. He had one total stop, which is considered at or behind the line of scrimmage. He had that one forced fumble early on in the game that obviously Breece Hall was able to recover, but he was still able to force that fumble, and an 89.1 overall run defensive grade. I was really upset that he got injured because, again, this was one of the best games that I think we've seen from Daniel Ekuale, period, but definitely the best that we've seen from him so far this season. I think that there was concern of the Patriots' interior of the defensive line before losing Daniel Ekuale. I think it's a bigger issue now. Obviously, Devon Godchaux still dealing with an injury too in this game, but I think the Patriots kind of needed some bodies and some help there even before these injuries. Lawrence Guy, he's not it. Lawrence Guy is not it. I don't know why Lawrence Guy is still on this roster, even from an edge or interior perspective. He's terrible against the run. He doesn't rush the passer. He's a great guy off the field, brings that mentality that this locker room needs. But other than that, from a player's perspective, he should not be getting a whole lot of playing time because it is not showing up on the stat sheet whatsoever. A guy that I think they could potentially bring up, whether that's on the 53-man roster or maybe just practice squad elevations for right now, is Jeremiah Farms, a guy that the Patriots have had on this roster or practice squad rather for a couple of years now, was really, really good this offseason and was a guy in the preseason that was really making a last minute push to potentially make the roster. Patriots were lucky enough to get him back on the practice squad, a big body guy for the interior of the Patriots defensive line that is going to be able to help stop the run. But I thought he also improved as a pass rush specialist. Also, we know the Patriots like him. They even tried him at offensive lineman at times. So that would be a guy that with this Daniel Ekuale injury, I would expect the Patriots to potentially put on that 53, or at least for now, a couple of practice squad elevations to see how he does before they decide if they want to put him on that final 53-man roster. So I think it's more likely that the Patriots go in-house, whether that's Keon White in the interior, Deshik Wisemore on the interior, or promoting Jeremiah Farms. I think if they do promote Jeremiah Farms, you put a guy on the practice squad with their open practice squad spot right now. Maybe that's a guy they add from a defensive interior defensive lineman perspective. But other than that, I think that's how the Patriots kind of work around this injury. Unfortunate one, but Patriots have him locked up for a couple of years in Daniel Ekuale, so we will see him again next year. What are your guys' thoughts on this injury? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video because it really helps out the channel. And of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. I appreciate you guys for watching as always. And of course, never forget, go Pats, baby.